Schnell, 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 wir müssen bald. Denn der Reaktor hier wird bald zusammenbrechen. Und entweder alles zerstören oder Hannah. Oder auch H. Nein, sie ist Hannah. Sie ist ein Androide. Wird sich in die Kamera schmeißen und sich opfern. Aber das wollen wir verhindern. Von daher gucken wir mal. Wir haben die Map. Da ist der Reaktor. Da ist die Tür, die nach draußen führt mit der 9. Logischerweise führt zum Scanner. Das macht Sinn. Wir haben die 9 Kammern. Wir haben die 8 Kammern hinten. Gehen wir das mal hin. If the situation wasn't so perilous, I might have considered drawing something on this board. Something like a map of the metro? Or maybe some Greek to look mysterious. Or maybe I could draw a... You're not thinking of drawing something unsightly there, are you? No, I'm going back to the search. I might have drawn a funny, unsightly picture, but with Hannah around, I figured it might be better if I didn't anyway. Especially as we were short on time. Damn it! Moment down. If I didn't hurry it up, I'd lose all the time I had left and Hannah would probably incapacitate me. I had to be quick. Okay. We should just break all this stuff. Wait, let me have a look. What were all those things? Cable boxes. I could see some pipes. If we broke anything in there, maybe the reactor would stop. However, there was an equal chance we'd make it explode right away. Perhaps it was better to leave it be and come back if we found some sort of telltale sign that breaking this would be beneficial. Not for now, but if we find a reason to do so, maybe. Our time's going down, and you want to waste some of it? If we waste some time but end up not vaporizing ourselves in the process, I think that's a lofty goal. Well, fine. Apart from the contraptions. Now, 2 minutes had passed. Time was quickly running out. Half the time had gone, so I needed to find something out. Okay. Die Kalbe vielleicht? This was a big, menacing reactor. Inside, I could see a lot of orange swirls swirling through some of the grating on the back of the open door area. This must have been whatever power is being generated. It was going out of control, and soon it would incinerate us. It would incinerate us and everyone else. This wasn't just a gamble for survival between us. This was a gamble for everyone's survival too. If we didn't come back to a conclusion, even Jasmine and Marco would. 3 minutes. Ah! It was almost over! We're almost out of time. Don't make any mistake else. She glanced towards the reactor. Yes, I knew she would jump into it when the time ran out to avoid any issues. That was why I need to do this quickly. This was the open door of the reactor. I took a glance at Hannah. She wasn't looking this way. I could slip in if I tried. Maybe I could stop her killing herself that way. I had to think about it, but I didn't have much time left. I was missing something vital to use for this. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to find a way out of this predicament. No matter what I looked at, no matter what I tried, it was all in vain. Hannah was glaring at me as the time was running out. There was a bit of resentment in her. Was it all a lie? This hope you gave me, this hope. No hope. The world, it's tearing my head apart. I forgot. I shouldn't say it. I shouldn't think. She held her head in her hands. Apparently, that was causing her to have a headache too. This was my chance, but I wouldn't want to leave her like this. I hesitated. In that slight moment of hesitation, she forced herself to move forward, which in turn forced me to make up my mind. Sorry, Anna. I can't let your wish come true. You're going to fucking live. It was like the choice had been made for me. I took advantage of the situation and jumped into the reactor. Quickly, she regained her footing, but it was too late. My hand slammed onto the button, which closed the door. No! You can't do this to me! To Hannah! To Greta! His sister! So that was her name, huh? Their parents must have had some wicked sense of humor to base their names off that popular duo of characters from Children's Tale. However, I had nothing to say. I knew I tricked her somehow, and seeing her lamentably state due to the headache, perhaps born out of traumatism, I had no idea of. It did make me feel bad. Despite that, I stood by my choice. Of course, all the thoughts in the world came upon me at the moment. I thought about Marco. I thought about Jasmine. I thought about my family too, and all the others I wouldn't see again. Don't do this to me! Don't leave me alone here! I'm not Hannah! I'm a robot! I'm a fake! I'm not real! I'm not. Finally, after clearing my throat and clearing my head, I could speak to tell her just how exactly things were. No. You're Hannah. As far as Greta's concerned, you're Hannah. As far as I'm concerned, you're Hannah. No one else can take that away from you. I'm going to die, and it's scary, of course. I can feel the heat building up behind me. So don't look. Don't look! I didn't exist. I wasn't here. There was no Simon. I told him my name too. I felt like it was only appropriate, given the circumstances. There was no Simon anywhere. No Simon ever existed. So, don't feel bad. You're going to be Hannah, and you'll live. You'll live for Greta. Hannah refused to listen. She hammered her body into the door until it had begun growing hotter. I was melting. I clenched my teeth to ignore the pain. I clenched my teeth to ignore the incoming death. It was difficult to face. Your own death was something no one truly was ready to do. And yet, this was my future now. Or rather, my lack of future. All this work, all this life to amount to this. But at least, it was for someone else's greater good. A second thought prevented me from feeling good over it, though. Maybe it was a selfish part of me. Maybe it was a cowardly part of me. If I die, I'll get you back out of here! Hannah! I screamed so loudly, even she was surprised and she stood back, dumbfounded. You are not giving your life away. Do you hear me? Avert your eyes. I didn't exist, so go live. She did as I told, fighting against her programming. She averted her eyes. She wouldn't see me as I became nothing. This was it. The pain was unbearable. Sorry, Marco. Sorry, Jasmine. I was giving my farewell to people who would never hear them. The last moments were nothing but a melting pot of weird nothing. Color, sounds, sights. All of them were mixing in a head that wasn't quite there anymore. Yet, even as I faded, I maintained one thing. I maintained my smile. Now that it had come to this, now that I truly had passed the point of no return into the end, I felt good, deep inside. I didn't have any remorse, any fear, or any cowardly thoughts. Complete darkness waited for me, and I embraced it. Soon, none of it would be my burden anymore. With that smile, I vanished in a torrent of heat and despair. Ending E. Meltdown bad ending. Whoop! Oops! The end is reached, but the story is not over. The gears of fate continuously turn, becoming the truest embodiment of an endless circle. Okay, das war ungünstig. Oh, danke. Wie geil! So, was sagt die Flowchart denn? Was sagen die Extras? Let's gucken. Lexikon. Wir haben jetzt I. Ah, da haben wir es. Wir haben Greta und Hannah. Guck mal. Wir haben zwei neu bekommen. Wir haben Greta und Hannah. Denn wir kennen ihren Namen jetzt. Flowchart. Okay. Wir sind bis da gekommen. Bis da sind wir gekommen, glaube ich. Nee, wo sind wir? Da sind wir. Ach, hier sind wir. Reasons Die, Novel Segment. Escape Segment. Das ist das Bad End. Function Ceased, Meltdown. Wir hatten noch das Y-Ending. Dann gebe ich hier hin. Dahin habe ich gesagt. Okay. Versuchen wir es nochmal. Ja, ich weiß. Kann ich Control? Nee. Ach, da ist Control. Okay. So, da zieht sie, wer Hannah ist, wer Greta ist. Okay. So, wir wissen, das Whiteboard ist sinnlos. Der Reaktor ist auch sinnlos. Wir können ja mal das Ding angucken. Genau. Oh, dankeschön. Scream wouldn't help. I couldn't go through it. Instead, I focused on the other things around it. In this strange mess of things, I could hardly make out anything worthwhile. At first, some of these seemed like a good prospect. This is so tech now. Maybe more sci-fi. Nothing's lighting up. None of this could be helpful. I didn't know my way around the reactor room. The computers didn't turn on. The metal plates didn't help. And all the stuff scattered around was made for random objects. Ah! There has to be something we can use in this pile of stuff. Hannah shrugged and moved away. She came to the same conclusion. This was, ultimately, useless to us. Okay. This door had a big number 9 onto it. Was this supposed to represent the 9th person or something? Would my escape be assured if Hannah sacrificed herself? I slapped my cheeks a little with my palms. No, I had to stop thinking this way. There must have been another way out without sacrificing anyone. No, okay. This wall had something behind it. Maybe if I tried really hard, I could open. I spent a bit of time looking around to see if there was any mechanism, but there was none that I could find. Which meant this was a do or die. If it would be done by hand, then so be it. 3 minutes. Oh Gott. Ja, ich weiß. Okay, was machst du noch? Hannah, do you have an idea?
I don't have any ideas. But maybe if we want a specific outcome, we'll have to follow a very strict order of things to do. I think we already failed that. But it's got to be a very tight process. I don't think anything else could counter what Smiley's has set up for us here. So keep our eyes peeled.
Got it. I'll keep my eyes open for any idea by pressing the buttons in any way. Okay. Wir wissen jetzt ungefähr, was wir machen müssen. Können wir zurückgehen? Quit? Ja. Ich möchte nochmal zurück nein, nicht zu Save-File. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Zum Flowchart. Da wollte ich hin. Ja. Jupp. Jupp. Jupp, jupp, jupp. So. Wir wissen jetzt, was wir tun können. Wir müssen erstmal die Türen öffnen. Was ich mir kurz gedacht habe, gelassen habe. Aber jetzt weiß ich, wir müssen zumindest die Tür öffnen. Das heißt, wir müssen hier drauf packen. Dann kommt das Handsymbol nämlich. Da. So, dann kann ich es aufmachen. I tried time and time again to open this wall, but it wouldn't budge. Even using the tools gathered around this place, I couldn't make it move. Something was behind it though, I knew that. 8 things, whatever they were inside. This could be opened, it was the clearest day. The wall had a strange teeth-like shape. This is way too solid. I can't do this alone. Hannah! Hannah came by momentarily. We had to hurry. Let's open the thing. There's stuff behind it and we need to access it.
Okay, I'll do a countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0!
We combined our efforts to lift up the teeth up and open the wall, all in vain. The wall refused to move. All we ended up doing was exerting ourselves too much. This was just a waste of time.
Fuck! This is so stupid!
Language. Girls shouldn't...
I can swear if I want. Get back to the search quickly.
No, 2 minutes. Okay. Ich bin verwirrt. Ha. Okay. Spannend. Also ich hatte Unrecht, ich muss das Ding aufkriegen. Aber wie kriege ich das auf? Das ist die Frage, wie kriege ich das auf? Die bessere Frage ist, kriege ich das überhaupt schon auf? Okay. Ha. Okay, mal gucken. Der Screen bringt mir nichts. Das Whiteboard auch nicht. Die Tür sagt nur Nummer 9. Das Ding bringt mir erst später was vielleicht. Der Knopf bringt mir nichts. Hannah bringt mir nichts. Was, wenn ich Hannah zuerst frage? Hannah ist weg. Jetzt nehme ich das hier. Vielleicht jetzt hier irgendwas machen? Okay. Okay. Die Reihenfolge ist schon verwirrend. Die verstehe ich nicht so richtig gerade. Weil ich denke, ich muss das halt aufkriegen, aber ich krieg's nicht auf. Fehlt mir vielleicht ein Objekt dafür? Oder irgendein Item? Das wäre komisch eigentlich, weil das müsste man eigentlich dann sagen. Hm. Was steht jetzt genau? We have to follow a very strict order of things to do. I think we already failed that. I think we already failed that. Oh, warte. Oh, okay. Das habe ich gesehen. Okay. Wenn ich in die Mitte gehe, kann ich was anklicken. Wenn ich zuerst auf den Reaktor gehe. Ich glaube, dass Hannah anklicken ist nur ein Tipp, den man kriegen kann. Aber wenn man den kriegt, sagt er so, ja, du musst eine bestimmte Reihenfolge erfüllen. Aber sie ist kein Teil der Reihenfolge. Was machen wir jetzt das hier? Okay. Okay, jetzt kommt mir die Hand auf. I glance over to the mess on the side. Maybe one of these objects would come in handy. I stealthily picked one up, carrying it with me. Now, what could I have used this for? I didn't really have a plan, but this was the beginning of one. Now 2 minutes have passed. But then again, there was another way. I aimed the random object it took from the mess nearby directly at the button, then threw it in. However, as soon as it was inside, the reactor lit up and the object was instantly incinerated before it hit the mark.
What are you doing?
I tried throwing something inside to hit the button. Go figure. Smiley doesn't want us to bypass the choice we have to make. She looked demoralized, but she vacated the spot. Damn. If I went for it again, I'd have to... I only had one option now. I went over to the open door, as stealthy as I could. Unfortunately, Hannah noticed what I was doing.
Trying to slip into the reactor while I wouldn't see. That won't work.
Since I wasn't searching anything else, her attention had gone back to it. Crap, I fucked up. Now she was on the move to cut me off from it. No! You can't do this! I still tried to stop her, but in the end, I failed. My arms reached for her, but she dodged it rather easily. Even if her steps were heavy, she could make quick calculations. She knew how much to move, how much to balance her weight. It was just a human. Wait, did she know that? I was just a human. Maybe I could do something with it. Maybe I could lie to her. What if I told her I was a robot? Even if it was a lie, maybe I could catch her off guard. That was my train of thought. Hannah, But I was late with that. Perhaps if I distracted her longer, I could have found something else. Perhaps I could have done the sacrifice instead. Perhaps. Only possibilities build this line of thinking.
I can't stay idle by when someone's come to harm. It's part of my programming. Sorry.
And with that, she stepped forward, leaving me out of fear of her decision. It was like the choice had been made for me. I contested it. I didn't like the fact that it had been decided for me. As if there had never been a choice here. As if the events had been written to take place in this exact way without any doubt. As if I had no free will of my own. All those thoughts were secondary to the events unfolding before me, though. She had already slammed her hand on the button in the reactor. Hannah! The door closed behind her, shutting her off from me. She remained eerily silent past that. I could tell the girl was breaking down, watching her through the door. I slammed my fist against the window and the thick gate, but nothing I did changed anything. Her own hands lifted up to her head. Realizing the horror of what was to come, she held her own head in despair. Hannah! Hannah! This was it. She dropped her arms down and turned around as the reactor slowly launched the stabilizing process. Even as the heat grew inside, she smiled at me. She reminded me of myself. No doubt. If I had been inside, I would have done similarly. Likewise, if she had been in the one outside, she most likely would have panicked and tried to get me out of too. In that sense, we were not so different. It was in our nature to try to help in any way we could. Her face haunted me the entire time she remained within. As the blasts of fire and heat engulfed her more and more, that smile remained, and it imprinted itself upon my mind. I couldn't forget it. I pulled away from the door due to the growing heat. My own behavior was reversely proportional to Hannah's stabilization. The more she abandoned herself to fate, the harder I fought against it. I still had to try something, even if I'd understood that I could do nothing but watch. Horrific moments followed up on each other. Her fake hair fell down. Her flesh melted off the metallic components of her body. Even the metal turned into something akin to a bunch of molten parts. She was a robot. The fake person for the note. That was her. Yet, despite that, I didn't really think she was a killer, or a bad person, or anything like that. She was just as much someone as anyone else here. Not anymore, of course. No, she was melted. She was dead. There was a high probability that she wasn't conscious anymore, if such a thing could be called consciousness. What was left of her was engulfed in a tornado of flames. Finally, after what felt like a few eternities, the reactor calmed down. I was contemplating what to do. The quiet room grew on my nerves. I couldn't shed tears. I couldn't scream. All I could do was live. All I could do was live for the remains of Hannah's melted body at the bottom of the little maintenance hatch. Encased into the metal was a collar. It looked fine. The blaring red alarm in front of the reactor had ceased its blinking and turned off. Just as it did, I released a breath I've been holding for around a minute. Finally, everything caught up to me. Yet, despite my inherent deep sadness, I couldn't bring myself to cry. Instead, I was thinking about the perpetrator, Smiley. That was his fault. All of this was his fault. A rage was building up inside of me. To finally learn about Hannah and then have her die like this? What would I tell Greta when I came out? Would she hate me? I'd be coming back without her sister. The next time I met her, I'd have to bring up the subject. It was my fault. I didn't feel strong enough to do so, even if this was Smiley's fault. Not only was I coward deep inside, but I also didn't know what to say in this kind of situation. I felt like I wanted to run away more than ever before. I stood back up. When had I fallen to my knees? It must have been during my own growing despair. Everything that transpired had just been a blur. The screen had turned on again. Only realized it at that moment. I must have missed some of what Smiley was talking about. It took me a second to calm down, as the rage against him was still strong in my hand. Your group. However, you know that now someone else had been condemned to die here. This is, of course, no longer your main concern. As he was talking, the plane was separated between its two halves. The reactor stabilizing was causing it to open. I focused on Smiley, however. I wanted to make sure I'd burn his image into my head so I knew. No. So that no matter what, I would remember the person who destroyed our lives. You are yourself. Free to go. The door with 9 will let you leave, provided you have what is required, of course. Otherwise, you will undergo termination in only a few minutes. If you have what is needed, you may proceed. But despite your success, mine will have been a horrendous failure. The MTS will get you. I didn't understand what Smile was saying. The MTS was a shortened version of the Montreal Transport Society. So why was he bringing that up? Why would they get me? It's just a company set up to run the trains. There was also my other worry. I didn't have what was required to leave. If we need to bring the 9th person here, Hannah wasn't it. Was I going to be terminated for that? What's fucking going on? That question echoed without an answer. Looking to find some, I finally paid attention to the back of the room. Something had opened there. I didn't feel quite ready to have a look at it. Instead, I looked around the room. Oh boy! Es geht noch weiter anscheinend. Okay. Gut. Ich beende den Stream von dem Part aber hier, weil wir haben eine Menge durchgemacht und eine Menge erlebt und es tut mir sehr viel leid, alles, was passiert. Ich bin so traurig gerade. Arme Hannah. Arme Hannah. Mano! Doof! Naja, gut. Ich danke euch fürs Gucken und noch eine schöne Weihnachtszeit. Tschüssi!